India's best UPSC interview guidance by former UPSC board members. 5-pronged approach includes DAF briefing, one-to-one sessions, regional information guidance, feedback by a psychologist, mock interview mimicking the actual interview by former UPSC board members only at KPIS Delhi. This is the guidance by the best to ace the UPSC race. WhatsApp your DAF to 9133957733 now.
Hello everybody, welcome to KPIS Delhi's CARE initiative, Current Affairs through Reverse Engineering.
These are the articles that we'll be seeing today. Let us look into the first article. Madras High Court refuses to declare election of 4 MPs and 8 MLAs null and void. The story behind this is that the legislatures were set to be contested on reserved symbols belonging to other political parties in 2019 general election and 2021 assembly elections. Alright, so this Madras High Court refused to entertain a petition because the petition or PIL was filed under a writ petition. Okay, so what is the problem if you are filing a writ petition about the elections and to declare them null and void? What is the issue? Because according to Article 329 Clause B of the Indian Constitution, no election to either the House of Parliament or to the House of the Legislature of a state shall be called in question except by an election petition. Alright, election petition. Alright, so that's why if you have to challenge somebody's election to the Parliament or State Legislative Assembly, you should not file a writ petition, but you have to file a election petition. So that's why this Madras High Court refused to declare the election of these MPs and MLAs as null and void. Now, the point of discussion is, what is an election petition in first place? This is important for preliminary exam. Alright. Now, what is an election petition? It is a procedure for inquiring into the validity of election results of parliamentary elections or the state government elections. Alright. This is first point. This is the definition. The second one, only the high courts only have the original jurisdiction on deciding on election petitions. Alright. And third one is, after how many days of the election result declaration should this election petition be filed? It is 45 days. Alright, within 45 days, from the date of, suppose today is the result of some election. Alright, and 45th day. Alright, so this is the time gap in which you can actually file the election petition. Alright, now, is there any appeal window that is there? Yes, the appeal shall lie to the Supreme Court. Alright, and every appeal should be preferred within a period of 30 days from the date of order of the High Court. Alright, now, any election petition may be withdrawn only by leave of High Court. Alright, and you should also remember that the things done by MPs or the MLAs won't be cancelled because his or her election is declared null and void. Alright. Now there is one act, Representation of People's Act. Most of us know about it, right? So what does this Representation of People Act say about election petition? It says that High Court should make an effort to complete the trial within 6 months. 6 months from the date on which the petition is filed. All right. And what are the grounds for filing an election petition or declaring an election void? Are there any grounds that are mentioned? Yes. So they are mentioned under Section 100 of the Representation of Peoples Act of 1951. Alright, what does it say? If the High Court is of the opinion that on the date of election, a returned candidate was not qualified or was qualified to be chosen to fill the seat. That is one thing. Second one is, if there is any corrupt practice that is involved, then his candidature can be declared null and void. Alright, now where are these corrupt practices defined? Under Section 123 of the Representation of Peoples Act of 1951, there are some list. There is a list. There are some activities which are there in the list which are considered to be corrupt practices. Now, what are those? What are those? Under Section 123 of the Representation of Peoples Act, one is bribery. Okay. And then use of force or coercion. The list is huge, but bribery, force of coercion, and under direct or indirect influence exercised by a candidate or his or her agent, if they are influencing the voting pattern, then by wrong means, then also it is a offense. All right, it will come under corrupt practices. All right, and then booth capturing. All these come under the corrupt practice. So these are some basics. So Section 100 deals with the grounds for filing the election petition or declaring an election void. Okay, and one such ground is if the candidate is indulging in corrupt practices. Now, where are these corrupt practices defined, or the list is there? It is there in Section 123 of the Representation of Peoples Act of 1951. Bribery, force of coercion, booth capturing, all such practices come under corrupt practices. Alright. Consider the following statements. An election to the Parliament or House of the Legislature cannot be challenged through a writ petition. Correct. It can only be challenged through election petition, and we've seen what election petition is, right? High courts have the original jurisdiction on deciding election petitions. Yes. Only high courts have the original jurisdiction. Alright. An election petition can be filed by any candidate. Yes. According to Article 329 of the Indian Constitution, a High Court should finish the trial within 6 months from the date of... It is not Article 329. It is Representation of Peoples Act. Alright. So, 3 statements are correct. Now, which of the following statements with regard to conduct of elections in India are not correct? Alright. See, this it has the power to ruin everything. Okay. Please be very careful. The responsibility for the preparation of the electoral rolls is vested in the Election Commission of India. This is true, right? We are supposed to find out which are not true. Okay, that means 1 shouldn't be there in the options at all, which means B is gone, C is gone. What are you left with? Only 3 and 4. So you don't need to read second statement. Alright, it is obviously true. Now, the laws relating to delimitation of constituencies are made by Election Commission of India. No, it is the Parliament, right? Delimitation Commission Act is passed by the Parliament. So, this is wrong. So, 3 is the answer. You don't need to read 4th statement also, which means without reading 2nd statement and 4th statement, you got the answer. Okay. Justice for Bilkis Bano. Questions on remission. What is the context? Yesterday, we've already seen this, right? Supreme Court quashes release of 11 convicts in Bilkis case. In yesterday's CARE video, please refer to that video. We spoke elaborately on clemency powers of the President under Article 72, President versus Governor in terms of clemency powers. Alright, and third, we also spoke about each word like pardon, remission, respite, commutation. And one learning is that not only President or the Governor has the power to remit a sentence, but state governments also have the power to suspend or remit a sentence. Okay. Under section 432 of Criminal Procedure Code, this is true. Okay, this is exactly what the court also has referred to. Alright. So, this is one fact that you should know. And what is the context here? The context is that the Supreme Court actually overturned the mass remission order issued by the Gujarat government. Okay, for 11 men sentenced to life imprisonment in Bilkis Bano gang rape case. Alright, now why did Supreme Court do so? It said that Gujarat's remission policy was inapplicable to Maharashtra, where the trial occurred, and Gujarat was not the appropriate government under section 432 of the CRPC. Now, what is appropriate government? Appropriate government is a state government or central government which has the power to suspend or remit a sentence. Alright, now why did it refer that this state government, Gujarat state government, was not appropriate government? Because trial occurred in Maharashtra. Alright, and Gujarat remission policy was not applicable in Maharashtra. Alright, the judgment declared the Supreme Court's May 2022 order allowing the Gujarat government to consider remission applications as procured by fraud, suppression, and misinterpretation of facts. So these two are the grounds. One is this one, that the trial was happening in Maharashtra, and that's why. And second is this. Alright, so these are some basics, and please refer to yesterday's care video. Alright, we've dealt it in great detail. Consider the following statements. Presence is listed under the concurrent list of the 7th schedule of the Constitution. Absolutely wrong, because presence is item number 4 in the state list. Alright, so this is wrong. Only state governments can remit a sentence. This is also false. So neither one nor two. With reference to India, consider the following statements. When a prisoner makes out a sufficient case, parole cannot be denied to such prisoner because it becomes a matter of his or her right. This is wrong, because parole is not a right of the prisoner. It is the discretionary power of the concerned authority. Alright, so this is wrong. Now, state government have their own prisoners release on parole rules. Yes, this is correct. Because we just saw that it is a state subject, no? Prisons is a state subject. Alright, so second statement is right. So B is correct. Could sisal leaves make sanitary napkins more sustainable in India? What is the context? A Stanford team found absorbent material produced from sisal leaves can be used to make sanitary napkins sustainable. Now, for prelims, this sisal leaves will become important. Okay, what are these sisal leaves? It is a species of flowering plant native to southern Mexico. Southern Mexico. Alright, the sisal fiber actually is used traditionally for rope and twine. Alright, sisal farming actually, it led to environmental degradation in the initial days, but now it is considered less damaging than other farming types. Why was it considered to be a factor for environmental degradation? Because it became an invasive species in Hawaii and Florida. Alright. Okay. And what are the climatic conditions or the soil types in which these plants in which these tree leaves actually grow? Moderately rich soil plus good drainage system. And what is the climatic condition that it needs? Warm and moist climate. Alright, so moderately rich soil plus good drainage system and warm and moist climates. These are the conditions that it requires. Okay. And in India, what is the scenario? What is the scene in India? It is well adapted mainly in Odisha, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, parts of Bihar, and western part of West Bengal. All right. And this particular team actually found out that the sesame leaves has the ability to replace cotton, wood pulp, and chemical absorbents in the sanitary napkins. All right, so this is the context, and also you should know that it has the potential to replace these. All right. Which of the following applications can be derived from sisal leaves? Sanitary napkin absorbent material? Yes, this is correct. Right? So, option A. Recently, there was a growing awareness in our country about the importance of Himalayan nettle because it is found to be a sustainable source of Girardinia diversifolia. It is textile fiber. All right. So please keep a track on such words or such species if they are news. Okay. Anyways, we will cover it, but please make it a point to revise the care documents. All right. China's satellite launch triggers emergency phone alert in Taiwan. What are they referring to? They are referring to Einstein probe. What is it? It is a collaboration between the Chinese Academy of Sciences plus European Space Agency and the Max Planck Institute of Extraterrestrial Physics. Okay, so the Einstein probe is a collaboration of these three. All right, and what is its aim? Its aim is to discover high energy transients and monitor variable objects. All right. And what will this carry? It will carry two instruments. What are those? Wide field X-ray telescope and follow-up X-ray telescope. Okay, it uses X-ray detection technology inspired by functioning of lobster eye. All right. Consider the following statements with regard to Einstein probe. It is a collaborative space mission between NASA and Europe. No, it is not NASA and European Space Agency. European Space Agency is there, but it is not NASA on the other side. It is Chinese Academy of Sciences and Max Planck Institute of Extraterrestrial Physics. All right. It aims to discover high energy transients. Yes, this is correct. We've just seen, right? So B is the answer. Now, consider the following statements about James Webb Space Telescope. It is the largest observatory ever launched into the space. This is true. And why did they ask this question in first place? Because this particular James Webb Space Telescope was launched in the year 2021, in the month of December. All right. So it is a collaboration between NASA, European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency. All right. Why was it launched? To examine every phase of cosmic history. All right. What is cosmic history? What is cosmic history? That is the entire happenings from Big Bang to the formation of galaxies, stars, and the planets to the evolution of our own solar system. All right. So it wants to examine those. Okay. These are some basics. Now, it has been developed by NASA in partnership with the European Space Agency and the Canadian Space Agency. Yes, this is correct. The context was this, and these are the organizations that are involved. This is the aim. All right. So, both statements are right.
This is it for today. All the best.